You are about to enter a world of dreamscapes and nightmares. A world where the surreal is real, and you will encounter things humanity was never meant to know. Prepare to have your fragile illusions of reality shattered as you cross over into the nightmare realm.
The Dragon of Palace Flats.
I wish Palace Flats wasn't such a boring town.
Sheriff James Beckett laments as he sits reclining back in his chair with his feet up on his desk. James Beckett has held the office of sheriff long enough to be cynical and bored with the job. Palace Flats, New Mexico is not a big tourist destination and holds nothing of any interest to anyone. Culturally, the town is a wasteland. Even the stray cats try to escape the dreary little desert town. The phone rings, but Sheriff Beckett has no intention of interrupting his rest just yet.
Deputy Miller, get the phone.
Deputy Miller was new to the force, having just graduated high school about a month prior. He was very eager, but a bit naive.
Yes, sir, Sheriff.
Deputy Miller answers the phone.
Sheriff's office. This is Deputy Miller. How can I help you?
Deputy Miller asks, sounding like he was reading from a script. Sheriff Beckett cannot make out what is being said by the caller, but he can tell that they sound panicked. A state that is mirrored in the look of horror on Deputy Miller's face as he hears the details of the call.
All right. Just calm down. Me and the sheriff are on our way.
Well?
That was Old Man Burroughs. They found a body on his farm. One of his workers was found badly mutilated.
Then we better get out there.
Sheriff Beckett gets up, grabs his hat off of his desk, and starts to head for the door. Deputy Miller grabs the keys to the car from a wall hook and follows Sheriff Beckett outside. The Burroughs farm is on the outskirts of town and takes about a half hour to reach by car. Upon reaching their destination, Sheriff Beckett sees Old Man Burroughs pacing nervously by his mailbox. As soon as the sheriff's car comes into view, the old farmer makes a beeline for it.
Sheriff, thank God you finally got here.
We got here as fast as we could. Where's the body?
It's right behind the barn. Follow me.
Deputy Miller looks very nervous, as he has never seen a dead body before. Sheriff Beckett gives his deputy a reassuring nod and proceeds to follow the farmer. Once they turn the corner to go around to the back of the barn, their senses are assailed with gore, as the body looks to have been torn apart and partially eaten. The stench of decaying flesh hangs heavy in the air, nauseating everyone present.
Oh my God!
Deputy Miller covers his mouth and nose.
That's how I found him. Looks like he's been torn up by something pretty bad.
Looks like he fell in a wood chipper.
I'll call the state police and get the crime scene boys out here.
Deputy Miller quickly removes himself from the grisly scene and makes his way back to their car. Sheriff Beckett and Old Man Burroughs quickly follow the deputy's lead and head back to the sheriff's car as well.
Don't touch anything, and stay inside with Old Man Burroughs until the state police get here. I'm going to head back to town and start organizing a search party for whatever animal did that.
Yes, sir, Sheriff.
On the way back to his office, Sheriff Beckett tries to figure out what type of animal could have done the kind of damage that was done to the farmhand's body, but can't think of a single animal capable of such carnage. Sheriff Beckett's day continues to get interesting as he has a visitor waiting for him in his office upon his return.
Sheriff,
inquires the older, slightly balding, overweight man pacing around the sheriff's office.
Yeah. Sheriff James Beckett. What can I help you with?
my name is Professor Oliver Warren, and I believe we have a very serious issue.
And what might this issue be? I have a lot to deal with already this morning.
There is a dragon on the loose.
Sheriff Beckett rolls his eyes.
Of course there is.
I made it in my lab. It was an experiment in genetic hybridization. I thought the subject was secure, but it managed to escape. We have to find the creature. It is extremely dangerous.
You know, that makes a lot of sense, Professor.
We have to catch it. Oh, we can use cold. It has a weakness to cold temperatures.
Hey, Professor, can you check out the integrity of my holding cell? I want to make sure that if we do manage to catch this creature, that we'll be able to safely contain it.
Of course, my boy. Good thinking. Let me take a look.
Professor Warren runs into the holding cell and starts to carefully inspect and evaluate it. Sheriff Beckett walks up to the holding cell, closes and locks the door with Professor Warren inside.
All right, sleep it off, buddy.
Sheriff Beckett starts to head for the door.
Wait, you must believe me.
Professor Warren pleads, but it falls on deaf ears.
Well, that could have gone a little better.
Professor Warren finds himself alone in the locked holding cell.
Like I really need to deal with a crazy drunk right now?
Sheriff Beckett shakes his head in disbelief as he gets outside.
Sheriff Beckett? You there, Sheriff?
Sheriff Beckett here. What's up, Deputy?
You better get back here. The Stadies have been trying to track the animal that attacked the farmhand, and they think they have a lead on it.
Do they have any idea what the hell it is?
Nope. The coroner says he's never seen anything like it.
All right, I'm on my way back now. Back it out.
Sheriff Beckett tosses his radio onto the passenger seat of his car before he gets in and drives back to Old Man Burroughs' farm. Deputy Miller sees Sheriff Beckett's car approaching the farm and runs over to meet him.
Sheriff, they found some tracks over by the stables. They just come from nowhere, lead over by the stables, and then disappear again.
They had to miss something. Tracks don't just appear and disappear. It's not like the thing can fly, for Christ's sake.
Sheriff Beckett heads over to where the team of state police officers is preparing to enter the stable.
Which one of you boys is in charge of this hunt?
I am.
So, what's your plan?
Plan?
Yeah, your plan. Because I know you're not about to just charge into a stable full of easily spooked horses and start a big ruckus. That would be stupid. So I know you're not going to do that.
No, of course not.
Sheriff Beckett is impatiently waiting for a better answer to his question.
We have the stable entrances covered. Two of us are going to go in quietly and try to flush the thing out into the open without spooking the horses.
All right, you do that. I'm going to go stand by my car and watch you Keystone cops work.
Sheriff Beckett walks back to where Deputy Miller is standing by the car.
Those idiots are going to cause a damn stampede.
The officer in charge of the hunt nods to the officer positioned with him, and they proceed to enter the stable. For a moment, everything is quiet. The remaining state police officers have their guns trained nervously on the two entrances to the stable, waiting to see if the team inside flushes anything out. You can hear a pin drop in the tense silence of the moment. Suddenly, a scream coming from inside the stable breaks the silence.
Holy shit, what the hell is that?
The two officers come running out of the stable as if being chased by the devil himself.
Run!
Inside the stable, the sounds of the horses panicking can be heard as the walls of the stable start shaking from the strain of the horses attempting to escape as well. The state police hold their positions, although obviously very shaken. They look to each other for moral support and stand their ground. Suddenly, the cause of the officer's fear is revealed as a strange beast emerges from the stable. The creature appears to be a large Komodo dragon, but unlike any that has ever been seen before. This one has giant leathery wings, similar to those of a bat, and a tail that resembles that of a scorpion. The beast takes flight and quickly overtakes one of the fleeing officers, impaling him from behind with its tail. The state police officers overcome their initial shock and begin to open fire on the creature. But their bullets seem to have little effect on the beast's thick, scaly hide. Sheriff Beckett quickly grabs an assault rifle from inside his car and takes aim at the beast that looks to be about to devour the fallen officer.
Eat this, asshole.
Determining that dealing with gunfire is not worth a meal, the beast takes flight and flies off into the nearby woods.
Holy shit, Sheriff! That thing looked like a damn dragon.
Dragon, huh?
Sheriff Beckett remembers the old man locked up in the holding cell back at his office.
We gotta get back to the station.
Sheriff Beckett quickly gets back in his car.
But what about them?
Deputy Miller gestures to the state police.
They can handle themselves. They're big boys. We have a lead on the creature that we need to follow up on right now.
Professor Warren hears the door opening and perks up. Sheriff Beckett enters, followed by Deputy Miller. The sheriff goes directly over to the holding cell.
All right. Tell me what you know, Professor.
Sheriff Beckett unlocks the cell door.
I take it you believe me now?
Professor Warren steps out of the holding cell.
I believe you. Now, tell me how to stop it.
I assume you saw the creature then.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it kill a police officer. Now, tell me how to kill it.
We use cold against it. It has a genetic weakness to cold temperatures. They cause it to hibernate.
Hibernate nothing. That creature needs to be put down.
But we can learn so much from that beast. It is too important to science to simply kill. I can contain it in my lab.
How'd that work out for you last time, Professor? Oh yeah, it got out and 2 people died. I'm putting the damn thing down.
For a moment, Sheriff Beckett and Professor Warren just stare at each other. But the sheriff's words gnaw at the professor until the guilt and responsibility he feels for the creature's victims overwhelms him and he hangs his head in shame.
All right. Perhaps there are just some areas of science mankind was not meant to explore.
So, how do we stop it?
In my car, I have a couple of tanks filled with liquid nitrogen. We can use them to put the creature into hibernation, and then blow the damn thing to kingdom come while it sleeps.
Do you happen to have explosives in your car, too?
No, I was hoping you might have access to those.
My cousin Eddie works out at the mine. They use dynamite all the time. I can get some from him.
Good. You go get the dynamite from your cousin, and the professor and I will track down the creature.
Having their respective missions, the trio leaves the sheriff's office. Deciding to try and pick up the beast's trail, Sheriff Beckett and Professor Warren head back towards Old Man Burroughs' farm. They took the professor's car, leaving the sheriff's car for Deputy Miller to use on his end. Sheriff Beckett's lead foot gets them to the last place the creature was spotted in no time. The unlikely partners exit the car and see no sign of the state police, aside from a few police cars left unattended. They examine the area where the creature was shot and see blood going in the direction the beast fled.
Be careful out here. There are quite a few state police officers here who are going to be looking to put this down, too.
They're on our side, though, right?
They're idiots. And the only thing more dangerous than idiots are scared idiots with guns. They are going to be jumpy and trigger happy. Be careful.
Professor Warren nods his understanding and opens his trunk. Inside are 4 canisters labeled liquid nitrogen, a pair of insulated gloves, and safety goggles.
Can I ask you something, Professor?
Sure.
Why would you make that thing?
Ever since I was a boy, I was fascinated with stories of beasts and creatures from myths and legends, and always dreamed of encountering them. I think that's what drew me to genetics. The prospect of being able to bring those great beasts to life.
Can I assume you've learned your lesson?
Yes. I suppose just because science can do something doesn't mean it should.
Suddenly, gunfire rings out in the woods nearby. Sheriff Beckett and Professor Warren immediately run towards the sound. They rush into a clearing where they see the state police officer that led the failed hunt for the beast earlier. The officer is shaking and has his gun pointed at the bushes. He keeps trying to fire his weapon, but is out of ammunition.
I think I got it.
Sheriff Beckett looks into the bushes.
Good job, officer. This horrible beast's reign of terror is over, thanks to you.
Sheriff Beckett holds up a dead rabbit that the officer shot repeatedly.
We're going about this all wrong.
You're right. We're just reacting. We need to get ahead of this thing. Figure out where it's going.
It was probably seeking shelter from the sun in the stable. It will most likely try and find a similar type of shelter.
Oh no,
What is it?
the mine.
Sheriff Beckett hurries back to the car.
Oh dear.
The professor rushes after the sheriff. Deputy Miller arrives at the mine and finds that it has been shut down for the day. He notices his cousin Eddie's truck and pulls up next to it.
Eddie! Yo, cuz.
Eddie walks out of the mine carrying a wooden box loaded with dynamite.
Where is everybody?
Mine's closed for the day. State police told us we had to clear the area until they catch some kind of rabid animal.
That's probably for the best.
So, what is the damn thing anyway? Those cops seem too shaken up for it to be a coyote or a wolf.
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
The sound of large leathery wings flapping can be heard. Deputy Miller tries to determine what direction the sound is coming from, but is having trouble figuring it out.
Try me.
Deputy Miller no longer has to try and figure out the creature's location, as it lands right behind Eddie.
Eddie, run!
Deputy Miller draws his firearm.
What?
Behind you!
Eddie turns slowly and sees the beast is only about 20 feet away from him.
Ah! Good boy.
Eddie runs for cover behind his truck, while Deputy Miller takes shelter behind his car.
Eddie, are you all right?
Am I all right? No, I'm not all right. I'm about to get smoked by Puff the Magic Dragon. I think I'm pretty damn far from all right.
Deputy Miller grabs the police radio from his belt.
Sheriff Beckett, come in.
Miller, this is Beckett. That thing may be heading to the mine. Be careful.
It's already here. Get here as fast as you can.
We're almost there. Hold on.
The beast takes to the air to survey its surroundings and get a better bearing on its prey. It notices Eddie hiding behind his truck and lands on the truck bed. Eddie drops the box of dynamite and starts to run for the woods. The beast spits out a spray of poison from its mouth that washes over Eddie. The venom has a powerful paralytic property which immediately causes Eddie to fall motionless to the ground.
Help me. I can't move.
As the beast nears Eddie, Deputy Miller bolts out from behind his car and fires his weapon at the beast. Miller's tactic is partially successful as the beast's attention is drawn from Eddie to him. Unfortunately, the bullets had no effect, as they could not penetrate the creature's thick hide. The beast growls angrily and starts to approach Deputy Miller, who just closes his eyes and winces. Without a moment to spare, Deputy Miller's prayers are answered as Sheriff Beckett and Professor Warren arrive. Sheriff Beckett plows the car into the beast at full speed in an attempt to save Deputy Miller. Stunned, the beast staggers back. Not wanting to give the creature a chance to recover, Sheriff Beckett puts on the protective gloves and grabs one of the liquid nitrogen canisters.
I'm going to lure it into the mine. Get the dynamite ready.
Yes, sir, Sheriff.
Deputy Miller runs over to the box of dynamite and picks it up. Sheriff Beckett fires again at the beast, hurting it towards the entrance of the mine.
Take that, you ugly son of a bitch.
Sheriff Beckett continues to tauntingly lead the beast into the mine. Obviously affected by the cold, the beast attempts to flee into the mine. As soon as the beast is inside, Sheriff Beckett knows it is time to finish this.
Now, Miller.
Without a word, Deputy Miller lights one of the sticks of dynamite and runs to the mouth of the mine with the box of dynamite, which he places just inside the entrance and runs for cover behind Eddie's truck. A loud explosion thunders throughout the woods as the entrance to the mine collapses. Trapping the creature under tons of rubble. Deputy Miller runs over to Eddie, where Sheriff Beckett and Professor Warren soon join him.
Eddie? You okay? Eddie?
Deputy Miller checks for signs of breathing or a pulse, but does not find any.
I'm sorry. The beast spits a powerful poison that cripples the central nervous system.
There was nothing you could have done to save him. But there are a lot of people that are now safe because of what you did here today. And because of him.
Deputy Miller closes Eddie's eyes and stands up.
I'll call this in. You two get back to town.
Deputy Miller nods, and he and the professor get into the professor's car and drive off. With the beast vanquished, the residents of Palace Flats can go back to a nice, quiet existence. Or can they? 1 month later. Sheriff James Beckett sits reclining back in his chair with his feet up on his desk. The phone rings, but rather than answer it, Sheriff Beckett just rolls his eyes.
Deputy Miller, get the phone.
Yes, Sheriff. Sheriff's office. Deputy Miller, how can I help you?
Sheriff Beckett tries to eavesdrop on the call, but is unable to hear the details.
Sheriff, we just got a call that Noville's Diner is on fire.
I wish Palace Flats wasn't such a chaotic town.
Sheriff Beckett laments as he gets out of his chair, grabs his hat off of his desk, and starts to head for the door.
I hope you've enjoyed your journey into the Nightmare Realm. Congratulations. You've returned to the safety of the real world. Haven't you?